Hello everyone, John from Nintendo Life here, and today we're reviewing Part-Time UFO for Nintendo Switch. This review was originally written by the wonderful Chris Scullion and was made into video by me. A lot of people may not realize this, but HAL Laboratory isn't actually owned by Nintendo. It may have been responsible for the likes of Kirby, Smash Bros, and the Mother series, and its main office may even be located in Nintendo's Tokyo building. But the developer remains independent and could make games for other platforms if it so chooses. It exercised this right back in late 2017 when it released a mobile game called Part-Time UFO. It was a delightful, addictive, and thoroughly entertaining game from start to finish, with no microtransactions, no ads, none of that nonsense. And it had absolutely nothing to do with Nintendo. Except now, because a few years after its mobile launch, it's been ported to Switch. The good news? It's even better. The bad news? Well, your free time's gonna take a serious nosedive. You play as Jobski, a little sentient UFO who finds itself on Earth looking for work. After it helps a farmer load some crates onto the back of a truck, the farmer gives it a magazine with a bunch of part-time job ads in. These form the game's stages, and it's up to Jobski to take on each of these jobs and carry out the tasks required in each one. And conveniently, all the jobs available take advantage of Jobski's unique skill, the ability to lower a large claw that can grab onto things, which, fun fact, that's how I got this job.
Someone hire him!
This means Jobski is essentially a hovering, self-aware crane game, albeit one that's designed to actually pick things up relatively easily. Press the game's single action button and the claw descends, opening wide enough to be able to grab fairly large objects if need be. The grip is also tight enough to ensure you won't drop anything unless you've lined it up sloppily, in which case you frankly don't deserve to cleanly carry the thing. After carrying the object to where you want to go, pressing the button a second time will quickly release the claw, dropping the object. Naturally, everything is physics-based, leading to a sort of cross between the brilliant Nintendo Badge Arcade app on 3DS and something like World of Goo. The latter comparison especially coming into play when stages get more elaborate, and you find yourself trying to stack multiple objects on top of each other, or trying to place them on a seesaw-like area, where you have to make sure that weight is evenly distributed. Each stage has a different theme and its own central task. This can involve putting together a cheerleader pyramid at a school gym, reassembling an ancient piece of artwork at a museum, or stacking a bunch of animals on top of a precariously wobbly tightrope walking elephant at a circus. Every level is packed with humor, and there's lots of fun little details in the backgrounds, and it's all accompanied by one of the most delightfully twee soundtracks you'll hear, which mainly consists of a single cheery theme played in a variety of different ways. And on a side note from me to ruin it for you, it sounds kinda like Baby Shark. Baby Shark. Sorry. Completing the main task is one thing, but each level has 3 secondary tasks that require you to do more than just the bare minimum. Generally speaking, one of these usually involves beating the stage at a set time, while another rewards you for clearing the stage properly. Stacking boxes the right way up, stacking cheerleaders efficiently enough so that the pyramid reaches a certain height, that sort of thing. The third, meanwhile, is a bit of a wild card and tends to be completely different for each stage. It could involve plucking up a hidden character from the background and placing them on the stack, or making sure certain objects are placed on specific places, something like that. Although you aren't explicitly told what these 3 tasks are, each is represented by an icon that gives you a clue, and they can all more or less be figured out easily based on that. The challenge is actually pulling it off, of course. Beat a stage and you'll also unlock a harder version of it, where the main task is made more complicated. The big stone temple you built before is now made out of 8 pieces instead of 6, for example. So what's the point in doing all this? Why? To make money, of course. Money can be spent in the game's clothes shops on a bunch of different outfits. Each even has its own helpful property. Dress Jobski up as a monkey, for example, and objects will swing less as you move around. And there's also a dog one. It speeds Jobski up, but that's not important. Just look at it. This is what's important. Fans of the mobile game will already know about this, and would be curious to what exactly is new here. Well, a decent amount actually. The main game itself has 1 or 2 new stages, such as the toy shop stage, where you stack toys into a big box well enough that you can still put the lid back on when all is said and done. There's also a new Feats of Glory screen, which is essentially an achievement system with 48 achievements to earn. There's a few new outfits too, although showing them will be spoiling things. Meanwhile, the new Tower of Affinity mode will be your new obsession. You're given a randomly chosen series of objects and must stack them as high as possible, while every now and then you're awarded a special block, which can be placed on the screen to help prevent your tower toppling. We're scared to think how long we're going to spend with this mode alone. Beating the game also unlocks a new Treasure Island mode, which gives you a meteor adventure that goes beyond simple single-screen tasks and has you exploring a large, multi-roomed environment full of surprises. Best of all, the entire game can now be played co-op with 2 job skis on screen at once. The simplicity of the game's controls means this is the perfect co-op game, because even players who aren't the most experienced gamers can pick it up quite quickly. It's taken a few years, but we finally have a simple and entertaining Switch co-op game that has toppled Snipperclips from its throne. We love this game and can't stop playing it. It's more expensive than the mobile version, but all the extra modes and features absolutely make it worth the money, not to mention the fact that it's far more comfortable to play with actual buttons. Nintendo may not have been involved, but how's close links to the company shine through regardless, and as a result, it absolutely feels like the premium product you'd expect from Nintendo. This is a must-have. The mobile version of Part-Time UFO already had the charm of a Kirby game, the physics-based chaos of World of Goo, and the compelling claw mechanics of Nintendo Badge Arcade. But this new Switch port builds on top of this already impressive stack with a new co-op mode that betters Snipperclips, and it chucks in an infinite play mode that we're gonna play for a very long time. It may be a game about picking things up, but the real challenge will be putting it down. We here at Nintendo Life give Part-Time UFO a 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching, and for a lot more Switch reviews, check out nintendolife.com. Until then, we'll catch you next time. Bye.